When I started looking at the Word of our wonderful Creator, I confirmed that I was eating the food He told us to eat, the fruits and vegetables. Food looks like what it's good for. So I know something's going on there good. So you got so many different foods, and it shows you what it's good for. A walnut. You know, walnut's good for the brain. It looks like the brain. Avocados are wonderful for women that are pregnant. It looks like the womb. The food looks like what it's good for. What about a Twinkie? It looks like a coffin. The food. So I started to connect these things with our Creator and started to realize these things. And I started to speak in churches, and people didn't want to hear the message. Number one, they didn't want to hear the message about Creator, and they certainly didn't want to hear about health. So I wasn't doing too good in either one of those. So then I started speaking out of churches where people will try anything, and it was a little bit more successful. But the churches, they're more prayer for healing of disease than any other topic. So as I was studying the Word of our Creator, it was pointed out to me that there's a time we should be eating our food to get the ideal sleep, creating the least amount of obstruction and the highest amount of energy. And we should eat our food according to our Creator is when we can see it, when it's daylight outside. Our Creator never intended us for us to eat when it was dark outside. And some people say, show me where it says that in the Bible. I say, if He wanted us to eat when it was dark outside, He would have made fruits and vegetables glow in the dark in a tree. Before they had all this artificial light, you were going to sleep when the sun was down. You weren't going to look for food, to go to McDonald's or somewhere. You were going to bed. So He created the time schedule for us to live by each day. Each week He's given us our day of rest, to rest for the week. It's in His instruction book. Each month He's given us our time to rest. It's in the instruction book during the new moons. He's given us our time to rest on a yearly basis, the yearly appointments He's told us about. And all these go perfectly right along with His message of the time and when we do things. We are not created as nocturnal animals. A nocturnal animal is an animal that sleeps all day and eats all night and goes around and is up all night. I know some ladies are thinking, that sounds like a man. They sleep all day and are just up all night eating. But we're not nocturnal animals. That's not us. We're to eat during the day and sleep at night. Is it me, or do we see a shift in that where more and more people are doing that backwards and disease has gone to rise at the same time? We have more studies and science and money for the study of disease than ever before in the history of man, and we have more people suffering from disease than ever before in the history of man. Why is that so? Because we have more people living against our Creator's instructions than ever before in the history of man. He doesn't want us to eat late at night. One of the worst things you can do for your health, for your sleep, for your rest, for your energy and everything is to eat before going to sleep. That's the daylight diet. It's not eating late at night. We got it backwards. We say we eat the smallest day at the beginning of the day, the smallest meal, and eat the biggest one at the end of the day. We need to flip that around. You eat the biggest meal at the beginning of the day, you got the whole day to work it off, you go to sleep on an empty stomach. So the body could do what it was designed to do, heal while you're sleeping. Not being digesting and everything else. Eating before going to sleep is not a wise idea. Drinking before going to sleep is not a good idea. Really? I always heard it was a good idea. No, it's not. Because there's different levels to sleep. And if you're at that stage 4 level of sleep where healing's taking place, and you got to get up in the middle of the night to put a bright light on and make a loud flushing sound, it takes time to get back to that deep level of sleep. So people say, does that mean I shouldn't drink water before going to sleep or something like that? You drink whatever amount you need and as much as you need, that you don't need to go to the bathroom. People say, well, how do I know? Because it's you. You do that every night for a week, you should figure it out, let alone a year. I know if you can get away with drinking a gallon of water and it doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night, then go ahead and do that. But if it's making you get up, it's interfering with your rest. You're healing. You're recharging. So the daylight diet is the earlier you could go without eating before going to bed. And I used to say just don't eat late, but people used to, or just don't eat before going to bed, but people used to eat late and stay up later. So that message didn't go over too well. You just don't want to eat late in general. Here's how wonderful our Creator is. In the winter time, the days are shorter and the food is more dense, at least if we eat it locally. So we can't eat as much, but it fills us, satisfies us longer. The summertime, the food is lighter, but we have longer to eat it. It works perfectly with the way He is.
Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways, Torah Life Ministries. Come out of the world,